So hello everybody, welcome to Ratchet Repairs. This time I'm not going to be doing Soundwave, even though I promised it will be a Soundwave video, but I have been quite busy this week, so I haven't been able to do a lot on him. I did paint Ravage, which I'll show you in the video below, but he's not done yet, as you can see. As well, with Soundwave there's not much going on except his really shiny alt mode. I found a way to work the wheels in, so I need to cut a little bit off and I'll add that to the brake disc. And then the wheels can actually fit and it will all look really pretty. And the caliper will hold on to the brake, but it will all rotate as it should. A couple of weeks ago I asked you guys which you would like to see for my next video. The choices were XP14, the Optimus Prime, which is the same scale as the Black Apple oversized version. Which I still like, but I decided not to continue working on him because he got too expensive. Then this guy came out, which is like the knockoff version of the knockoff version MPM4. I like it, but the thing I don't like about it is his wide ass. Because if you know anything about trucks, diesel tanks shouldn't stick out because it's kind of dangerous. So everything should be under the truck bed to make it look pretty. And that will mean that I need to find a way to make this hinge work, and then I can continue because I removed the double wheels from him. And then I can actually make the diesel tanks go under the cab a little bit further, and then I need to find a way to remove the guns away from him and need to find a way to alter this one. But it's still kind of process, so that's why I like XP14 more. It's simpler to transform and to alter. I mean, these will just fold into the cab like they do on him. These actually remain where they are. They just fold under the truck bed. And the new headlight mods, and I didn't know if you noticed, but I removed the headlights from here and I added them under his feet as they were with the original Dark of the Moon version of the Prime, which I liked a lot, but and the MPM shares a lot of things from. But yeah, there's not much to do but paint. I'm still deciding if I want to alter the rear fenders, because if I can find these tanks a new storage place under the cab, which is quite easy because all I need to do is cut them in half and find a way to fit them in. Same with these, then the rear fenders can move a little bit further next to the guardrails where they should be. And everything should look pretty. This, by the way, is not the XP14, as someone asked. This is the original of the XP14, which is the Blue Circus BC01, I think it's called. It's like the oversized version of the original MPM. So this is basically just an MPM with a bigger scale, and that's it. And I must say that I enjoyed this figure. As you can see, I painted it like 6 years ago, and I enjoy him so much. He's still one of the guys I still transform all the time. But yeah, at the moment I grown a lot with paint and I can do so much better than this. So yeah, I want to improve on that, and that I'll do with him. So yeah, that's one of the options. I'm going to discuss the UT Desperado as well, but first I want to address some Workbench questions I had laying around. Some people asked me about this guy, which is the Bumblebee you might have noticed before. This is the guy I did the video on. One of my first on YouTube. It was a quite extensive one, but they noticed the new head, which is accurate. I'm still working on it. So it's almost done, but not quite yet. This is an early one. It moves, it rotates, and it can do all kind of fun stuff. It has a battle mask that actually folds over the eyes. I did not completely make this myself, I need to be honest about that. I got it from a website called 2D. I don't remember who made it, but I'm quite glad he did. That said, I did hollow it out completely. I made the eyes translucent, which you might see if I focus in on here. I hollowed out the eyes, which I did for one reason and one reason alone. Here we go. Yeah, the eyes are hollow, so they light up blue. Especially if the head is painted, it will not shine as much. But that means that I made a MPM sized head with a light up feature. I'm quite pleased with it. So this will be available soon as well, with or without the light and the battle mask and stuff. That was a question I got. Why is his head differently? And is it still transformable? The answer is yes, it still fits in there and nothing else is wrong. So this is, yeah, it's my Bumblebee from way back. If you want to see the video, I think it's about 8 videos of how I painted this guy. So check it out if you didn't have done that already. And you know that the head will be soon. Also about the head, if it's bigger than the other one, it's just slightly bigger, but not that much. So it still transforms. It only looks bigger because it's wider and has a little bit more accuracy, which is fine because the plate actually is wider and everything would fit in there perfectly. So yeah, that was Bumblebee. So the next question I got was from someone who noticed this little guy in the background. It's something I've been working on a while. It started out as this guy, which is an oversized version of the Age of Extinction, I think it was, crosshairs, which is a decent figure, but yeah, it always was a little too wide. Maybe I shouldn't fiddle with it on the camera, but as you can see, the alt mode is way too big. So I decided to see what I can do to make it smaller. And at the moment, I already painted a new car for it all the way. So it will be, these are the same pieces, only translucent than that. It's like I've got, okay. I've been working on translucent plastic as well, with 3D printer. I need to finish it and smooth it out, but it actually works quite well. It hides stuff, but it's still translucent, so you can actually have the idea that it's real glass. But yeah, I'm still working on that, so there's not that much of a video in it at the moment. But I can show you that it actually will work. And especially if I hold this next to the original car, you can see how much smaller it is. And it's actually an MPM scale vehicle, which I'm going to be using, and then I'm going to be painting this guy. So I made him new feet, I made him new arms, I made him a new head. The new wheels, I'll try and show them to you, are the ones he had in the movie. So yeah, if everything works out, he will be quite pretty and work quite well with everything, but I'm not there yet, so I don't want to spoil the surprise. There will be a video on this as soon as I figure it out. So next on the list would be, like I said, I wanted to talk to you about UT Desperado as well, and I'll give you a short review on why I think Shockwave and Sentinel Prime need some work as well. So this is the next guy I wanted to talk to you about. As you might have noticed in my previous video where I introduced him, this is the unpainted version. But I did for a reason, because if you're new to this channel, I actually do custom painting myself. So that way I can actually have a clean mode to begin with and work my way around. And I've seen the Prime 1 studio version of him, and since then I've been locked in a way to try to get as much detail on him as possible. There should be a lot more metallic gray here, and there should be a red and a white stripe on here. Especially a lot of detail needs to be painted. He needs to be dirtied up, as obvious. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep this color. This is actually quite close to the one they use in the Australian army, which is weird because he was in Africa at the moment. But the mech actually is used a lot in Australia as well, especially the military version of this guy. But yeah, he needs a complete overhaul. He needs a lot more metal, he needs a lot more rust, he needs a lot more detail, but he is quite pretty, and I think if I can spend some time on him, he will be gorgeous. I'm not going to transform him in this video. You can actually get some screenshots from my editor somewhere in this picture right now, somewhere that you can actually see how he looks. In the alt mode, though, they have a lot of panels, which should be one panel on the vehicle, which have the battle damage and the dirt in between, which makes the panel gaps visible, which I hate a lot, because that's not how he looks in the movie. He did not have panel gaps there, which show you where he transforms into. So I'm going to be doing the transformation properly. But yeah, he is also one of the contenders still. Between him and Optimus Prime is at the moment the biggest race going on. So if you've got an opinion, please a comment, obviously, of what you would like to see and which you would like to see first. I'm going to do them both, but I still need to finish Soundwave first, and then these guys will be on the block. So yeah, please let me know which you would like to see first. if it's going to be Optimus Prime, if it's going to be Megatron. Things I didn't like was his Igor, which was way too tiny and not detailed enough, so I made this charming little fella. This is the new version, which actually has arms that can move a little bit, and he's got a light up feature. At the moment I think the battery already is depleted, but yeah, he has lights up features. There's a video I can link in the description below, so I'll be showing him as well with the Megatron. Also another note about Soundwave. I'm almost done with the brake calipers. I'm going to cut some material of the hinge and add them to the brake disc, so it actually still holds the right place and everything. Some people ask me where I got the decals which I use on him. I got them from DP Robot Store, which I'll link in the description below. It's I'm going to say eBay seller, but that's not right. It's an AliExpress seller, which I basically buy all my toys from because he's always quite fast in shipping and he actually has decent prices. So yeah, that's where I buy my stuff and most of the decals from. And as well, at the moment I'm having a little bit of a Bumblebee period in my life. So I bought the MPM Bumblebee, which is the Beetle, which is the G1 version, a while back, and last week I bought Optimus Prime, the MPM 12 I think it is. It's a decent figure, but it needs a lot of work. So that will be a video in the future. And I also bought the Zeus, I think it's called. No, it's not Zeus, it's Zeta Toys. The Blitzwing, which I like a lot, especially the jet mode, but the robot mode and the jet mode need a lot of paint. But that's also something for in the future. Yeah, let's get on to the next guy on the list, which is also need a little bit of work. It's the former leader of the Autobots turned Decepticon and hater of everything Ironhide. This guy, a lot of mixed feelings about him on the forums. A lot of people hate him, a lot of people like him. I'm one of the latter. I actually like him a lot, especially I've painted him before, so I know how he can look. But there are some things that are really wrong with him, especially the alt mode is lackluster. It needs a lot of paint here, which I can do. He needs this shouldn't be black, but it should be like an army gray in gloss. This should be the gray as well, and it needs of course a lot of robot details and a lot of gold and a lot of white and a lot of battle damage, which I'll add to him if I get to him. And especially the alt mode needs a lot of work, which I'll show you right now. So here we have Sentinel in his robot mode. Sorry, this is his alt mode basically. So this is how he looks as a vehicle, not a robot. Okay, with that corrected, here he is in his vehicle mode. As you can see, it looks decent, but there's a lot of things going on with this guy that's not completely accurate. So let's start at the front. The 07 should not be there, it should be here, and here should be an Autobot symbol, which I'm going to correct. This is going to have the proper American flag, which I'm going to correct. These lights should be chromed with a white LED in there, or a little bit of blue, which I obviously will correct. This little bit here should not have the detail. So I'm going to correct that, and I'll remove that and make sure that it's flush. So this will be a flush side. The Rosenbauer logo and this bit of white should, first of all, it should be silver, and this should be gunmetal, and it should not be on this side, but it should be on this side. This stripe should have an outline in dark gray instead of black, and it should also incorporate everything beneath here. Should be it's a German gray, as it's called. It should have a black stripe in here, but everything should be the gray, except for this, which should be the silver, which I'm going to correct. I'm going to remove this hole right here, make sure that everything's flush. And there's also a little bit of detail here, which I need to remove because it doesn't match up anywhere. Yeah, so that's basically the start of it. This should be more of a gloss because these are windows, so I'll give them the gloss a little bit better. All the work lights need to be white. This should be a little bit thinner, so I might replace this as well. And the biggest mistake they made, to me, on the rear is they have the arrows pointing down, and they should obviously be pointing up, and they should cover the black as well. Oh, and in the front, this puncture is used to puncture airplane holes and make sure there's a foam, that they can shoot foam in there to extinguish fires. So it needs to be a gunmetal and a little bit in there as well, so it should not have the blue and the yellow and black stripes all the way. The front bumper should be gloss black. This should have different colors. This should have different colors. And then we're all the way around. So yeah, he needs a lot of work in alt mode as well. So I'll correct that all. And yeah. Another thing I don't really mind on him, although it's a little bit obnoxious, is he's just a little bit too small. Especially I transform Bumblebee, so I can put him next to this. As you can see, this actually looks decent, but in order to be accurate, Bumblebee should be this size. This is an oversized Studio Series Bumblebee, and it looks decent, but if you put these two together, you can actually see there's a little bit difference in width and length. So this one is 130 scale, this one is 128.5, and this one is 130 as well. So it's almost good enough to go in between, but that said, I don't really mind it that much because some of the transformers will be quite big anyway, which is also the reason why I'm still doubting if I should get Hide Shadow again, because I really like the robot mode, but I'm actually hoping they'll oversize the Studio Series like they do on B&B a lot, and then I'll buy that one. But yeah, that's Sentinel wrapped, so you know what to expect when I go and paint him. So that brings us to the next guy, and that's not my little Amiga squeeze right here. It's the big bridge standing right next to him. Which is actually Zeus, the oversized version of Studio Series Shockwave. And I like this a lot. He's quite brittle, and a lot of people have been complaining about that. I actually don't have any issues with this. This is like the third version they got of him. And I already did a repaint on it, but then I mixed up some paint for this guy right here. And especially the purple you see in there. If you can focus in on that. That color purple. It's also really a nice movie, by the way. Yeah, this is the color I like on him much more than I like the color they have on him right now. It's quite subtle, it's just a little bit less in your face. So here you can see the difference a little bit. And yeah, that's gonna work so much better on him, because in the movie it was almost grayish color. And although I really like the weathering on him, I can do a lot better than from what they've done at the moment. So I think I can do a lot better giving him a proper repaint. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to focus on the alt mode as much, but painting this guy just like the Prime 1 Studio one will be stunning. And then we can have the proper Decepticons together for the Dark of the Moon movie. With him there as well. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to work on. I'm still working on some other stuff as well. I was working giving him a new alt mode, because he is well, he's 1/30 scale, so this works quite well. But yeah, it doesn't work with the NPM. But good news is that I just recently learned that UT is making a new version of him, which my editor will add in the description right now. We don't have alt mode pictures of it yet, but it looks to be a little bit bigger than this one, and it's this 130. So if it's just a little notch bigger, it's going to be 128, which will be perfect for the NPM scale, and that would make me a really happy camper. It would need a lot of paint, because I've seen the alt mode and it's decent. Not the alt mode, I've seen the robot mode and it's decent, but it can really work with some paint, and maybe I'll just add a new head in there. But we'll see. That's something that's already on the pre-order, but not here yet. And I also have a lot of other projects still running. So here we have guys all in the shot. At this moment it's focused on Megatron. But yeah, please let me know what you would like to see in the next video. If you would like me to see paint UT Desperado, also known as Megatron. If you would like to show me how Shockwave is going to work out, especially with some filler and yeah, getting a proper paint for his alt mode. Or if you want to see what I will do to XP14 and make him the ultimate prime, which I really like to see. Or if you're more into big old fire trucks. So with that said, yeah, it would really help me if you like add some comments on my channel to let me know what you would prefer to see in the next video. Next one will finally be about Shockwave finished with Laserbeak and Ravage in the correct colors as well as guns. And with that said, I think it's time to close the video. So please like, subscribe, and if you want to share, that would be great as well, because I really want to get some new followers. I already at 200 at the moment, but I want to get some more. So yeah, please let me know which you want to see in the next video. And with that said, I'll close the video and wish you a good weekend and see you next week.